All right, everyone. So if you've been thinking that accounting is just about, crunching numbers, get ready because that's about to change. Today, we're going to give you a really powerful new skill, how to build a basic accounting information system. And we're going to do it with a tool you already know, Microsoft Excel.
So let's just kick things off with a big question, one that might totally flip how you see your future career. Is accounting really just about balancing the books?
And no, not even close. The real key here is to start seeing accounting for what it actually is. It's a dynamic system. It's this structured process that's specifically designed to take all that messy, raw data and turn it into clear insights that, actually drive business decisions.
So let's dig into this secret identity, right? We're going to break down exactly how accounting works as a complete system, looking at its clear inputs, the processes it runs, and the outputs that end up driving pretty much every major business decision out there.
This flow probably looks pretty familiar. It's the basic model for just about any information system. Honestly, think of it like cooking. Your inputs, those are your raw ingredients. Things like invoices, receipts, payroll records. The process is your recipe. You're applying all the accounting rules to record and classify everything correctly. And the output, well, that's the finished meal. Something like a financial statement or a budget that someone can actually sit down and use.
Okay, so we've established that accounting is a system. But what makes an accounting information system, or an AIS, any different from all the other information systems a company might be using? Let's get a little more specific.
Right, here's the core difference. An AIS deals strictly with financial transactions. And importantly, it has to follow a bunch of external rules, from bodies like the SEC. Why? Because its output is used for legal and official reporting. A management information system, or MIS, on the other hand, that's all for internal use. It's looking at much broader data, like market trends or production schedules, to help managers plan things out, not to file some official report.
And this distinction between data and information, it's absolutely critical. See, data is just raw noise. Imagine a list of 1,000 sales transactions. It doesn't tell you much on its own. Information is what happens when you process that noise into something that makes you take action, like a report that clearly shows one of your products is outselling all the others. And here's the main takeaway. If it doesn't cause someone to make a decision, it's not really information, it's just data.
Okay, so how exactly do we get from that raw, messy data to that powerful, action-driving information? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a really clear, three-stage journey that every single effective information system follows.
In this journey, it always happens in this specific order. First, you've got to collect the right data. Then you process it, you clean it up, summarize it, make sense of it, and only then can you generate real, useful information. I guarantee every single financial report you ever create in your career will follow this exact path. Which brings us to probably the single most important rule in all of information systems. It's the reason that first step, data collection, is so incredibly vital. If you put faulty, irrelevant, or just plain wrong data into your system, well, you can only get one thing out. It's a fundamental law. Garbage in, garbage out.
So the entire goal of that final stage, information generation, is to create reports that meet these 5 key characteristics. For information to be truly useful and actually drive good decisions, it has to be relevant to what you're doing. It needs to be timely so you can act on it. Of course, it has to be accurate and complete. And finally, it needs to be summarized in a way that makes sense for the person who's going to use it.
Okay, let's bring all this theory back down to the real world. You don't need fancy, expensive software to start applying these principles. You can actually build a surprisingly powerful accounting information system using a tool that's probably already on your computer. Yep, Excel.
But here's the thing. Building a great system in Excel isn't just about knowing a few formulas. It's about combining 4 really important skills. Skills you're actually developing right now. You need that technical Excel proficiency, of course. You need your deep accounting knowledge. You need to be able to think in terms of systems, the big picture. And you need a business process mindset to understand how things actually get done.
For example, mastering functions like VLOOKUP and SUMIFs, that's what takes Excel from being a basic calculator and turns it into a dynamic reporting engine. Think about it. Instead of manually hunting down and adding up sales for one specific product, these functions can do it for you automatically, pulling data from thousands of rows in a split second. This is how you build a system that's both powerful and reliable.
So, let's talk about the payoff. Why does all of this actually matter? Why should you spend your time mastering this specific skill right now at the very beginning of your career? What's in it for you?
And this really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. Learning this stuff isn't just some academic exercise to get a grade. The ability to design and create a system, even a simple one in Excel, that transforms raw data into real decisions, that's what's going to set you apart. It is a massive early career advantage that lets you add real, tangible value from day one in any job.
So now you have the blueprint. You have the foundational way of thinking about designing and building these information systems. So I want you to take these concepts, master these skills in Excel, and start thinking not just like a bookkeeper, but like a systems architect. The real question is, what are you going to build?